Hello, I'm Penelope Wilton and I play Isobel Crawley.
So Penelope, is it nice to be back in Downton Abbey?
It is, and we've just finished the 5th series, and it's been a very interesting series. Julian has written some extremely good scripts.
Can you give us some juicy teasers from Series 5?
Well, there's a bit of a romance as far as I'm concerned, and there's romance in the air on many levels actually. So that's very nice.
So a lot of big names joining Downton Abbey this year.
We've had some very wonderful actors who have joined Downton Abbey, like Sue Johnson and Richard E. Grant and Anna Chancellor, and of course Harriet Walter has been back as well. So that's been a great joy to have them with us.
And you mentioned there Sue Johnson. We know that she's joined as a regular character.
I think so. I mean, as long as she wants to, I would imagine. But she plays a character called Denka, who looks after the Dowager Duchess, Maggie Smith.
And how do they get on? Do they clash at all, or do they get on very well?
No, I don't think so. No, I think, but she has a very interesting storyline.
And you obviously have had quite an interesting relationship with Violet, the Dowager. How will that continue in Series 5?
I think it continues, and it has its ups and downs, and its ins and outs, and Julian writes those scenes very well.
There's a bit of scandal in Series 5 also. We know that Lady Edith has given birth to a child out of wedlock. How will that particular story develop?
That's not a story that Isobel is involved with. I have other things that I'm involved with, and I don't know about it. It's quite a secret. I mean, a number of people don't know about it. So that plays out though, and that's a storyline that has its own
American roots
its own
do we see
journey, and will play out rather interestingly, I think, in the end.
One of the big storylines in Series 5 is Lady Mary moving on with a new partner. How does Isobel feel about that?
Well, I think that both of us have had to move on, and I think it was quite difficult early on for Isobel to see Lady Mary waking up to her life. And I think she was worried that her son, Matthew, would be forgotten. But actually, she's a realistic woman, and also she knows you can't live in the past. And you certainly can't live in the past if you're a young woman. And neither can. I think actually she's learnt a few things from Mary in that respect. And as far as that neither can she live in the past. And they have got little George, who's my grandson. And I think that they both of them have decided that he'll never be forgotten. But life is for the living, and actually, in Isobel's case, life is finite. So you have to enjoy it while you can.
And will the children, George and of course Sibby, be involved in Series 5 a wee bit more?
They will be. Yes.
Can you tell us anything about their storylines?
Well, they will be part of the family. They are part of the family, like children are. So in all the big scenes where things happen, they are part of those scenes.
If there was one thing you could pick out as a defining moment of Series 5, what would it be?
I do know. I've been asked that question a number of times, and there have been so many things that have happened. And it's a very interesting series, this one. In fact, there are rather more storylines than usual, I think. So I can't really pick one out. I think a number of them have been very interesting. I think Rose's storyline is a very interesting one. And I think the romance that is going on not just my level, but on many levels, also a very good storyline.
And can you tell us anything about the Christmas episode this year?
Well, I think it will look very beautiful, and partly we went up to Alnwick for it, so a lot of it was filmed up in the North Country, and I can't really say any more than that. There's a lot goes on.
So plenty more drama in Series 5 of Downton Abbey.
Yes.